Hey everyone, it's Nelson Miller here with PA Creative, and today I have a feature update for our Divi Events Calendar. This is version 1.4, so I'm going to show you what's new and show you some of the features and a couple of the fixes that we've added. This is really exciting. This is a big update. Let's get started and show you all about it. All right, so this is a really big update. There are 15 new features and probably just as many bug fixes, so this is a really big one. By the way, we have a new page for our changelog. If you go to our documentation, you can go to the Divi Events Calendar and then click on changelog, and you can see the very large changelog that we have here. We also added a roadmap that you can see there as well. So as you know, we continue to listen to your feedback, to your ideas, your suggestions, and a lot of them in this update, again, were things that users and customers have requested. So this is really exciting. Okay, so let's dive right in. I'll try to be quick here. So we have new features in the calendar module. So right now this is version 1.4 and this was released in 1.3. So it's kind of bare bones when it was released, but we're going to continue to add more, and there's a lot more coming in 1.5. All right, so we added the days of the week text styling and the month text styling. All right, and then a really big one was the translation support. So we added languages into the events calendar, and then when you change it based on your user or on your language, it's going to change automatically here in the calendar. I know that was a big one for a lot of people, and kind of goes along with that. Certain languages like French, for example, the day of the week starts on Monday instead of Sunday. So that is now supported as well. Another one that we did was added check marks for categories. So you could always do categories for events, but you had to write them out and separate them by commas. And now we've switched it over to what you're familiar with, like in the blog module, and that's the check marks. So that's really cool. All right, and so then another one that's really big and is going to open up all kind of new things, and I really mean that. The events for current page. So basically this is a way to dynamically show events in the module. So in the theme builder, you could add this to a category template, and then no matter which category or tag they click on for the events, it'll show events based on that. You can do this with search results. We're going to add that, and you're going to see a documentation and tutorial for that. You can do this on the single event pages. That's right. You can actually style the single event pages with our plugin as of 1.4 using this feature, because it's going to pull in anything related to whatever page that module is on. So if this module is on a single events page, yeah, it'll pull in the title and the featured image, and and you might want to add a whole bunch of modules and then just turn on and off certain things. So that's, like I said, this is a huge update right here with that dynamic content. Another one that we got a lot of feedback on, and I wanted to do this anyway, the featured image was a thumbnail size, and if you wanted to make like a single layout, like a full width layout or anything like that, it got really blurry when you made it large. So now we've increased that, so now you don't have to worry about your featured images looking blurry anymore. So that's a big update too. And we've added new alignment features, so you can now have the image on the right, details on the left, or top center, and details on the bottom. That applies to columns 1 and 2. So we now have a lot. Let's see, is that 10 different layouts for the way you want to lay it out. So here it's on the left, and then you could switch it to be on the right and all that. You can do a lot. So I think we've covered every possible scenario there with layouts. That's exciting as well. Now we also added the H1 to H6 heading tags. So before, this was not, you couldn't customize what heading it was. And now you can just go ahead and pick which one and then style it accordingly. Okay, so another one people were asking for, you can now stack event details on their own line. So here you can kind of see in the screenshot, instead of them being like a sentence, now here, like over here, how it's kind of like all in one, you can now turn on a toggle, stack event details, and it'll show up like this. And to go along with that, you can now turn off the prepositions and dividers. So, over here again, like let's say like this little divider, this little divider right there, things like that. So basically, or this here, all of that. So you can turn that off. So these features kind of go together. So stack event details and then show prepositions and dividers. You can turn that on and off. Again, this is really cool. And by the way, I'm going to have a tutorial on adding icons to the side here for each one of these, you know. So an icon for the price and for the person and the location and date and time and all that. Okay, that's going to be fun. And by the way, just as a note, if you're into CSS, each one of these is going to have its own class now, which allows us to do that tutorial and customize each one of these as individual CSS classes. All right, now we have button icon selection as well. So before you could customize the button text and the style, but you could not customize the icon. So we've added all the features that go along with a button icon. And I think one person asked for this and we've added it. So that just shows how much we listen. Somebody was wondering if we could align the buttons at the bottom. All right, so let's say you're over in a 3-column layout, for example. So here you can see that these buttons are not aligned. So I'm going to go in here and show you what happens when I turn that on. All right, so here I am in the builder. If I just click align button, there you go, it aligns them all to the bottom. We also added button spacing so you can control the margin and padding on your button. Again, so many of these things go above and beyond even what Divi offers in their modules. You can't even customize the text of the blog module. You can't even customize the read more button or anything like that, add an icon. So again, a lot of these things we're trying to just go above and beyond and give you every feature that we possibly need. I probably missed something there, but that was a bunch of the changes. Just to note, we changed the names of the modules to make a lot more sense. Now that we have two, the one is going to be called Events Feed, and the other is Events Calendar. So I hope that makes sense. We also have a lot more documentation. Let's go ahead and check that out. So here you can see all the different ones, adding, managing events, you know, the events archive page, dynamic category pages, single event pages, frequently asked questions, customization hacks, the changelog, the roadmap, and there's going to be another one for the search results too. We did a lot of fixes. There was some Safari issues. Obviously the icon wasn't working quite right. There was an alignment issue with the button and with the meta. I think there was an alignment issue with that. It wasn't centering. At certain layouts, it was in the 2/3 wide instead of 100%. And we fixed that. And there was, let's see, a couple different things. Well, the show past events, when you use the only show past events toggle, the order kind of seemed like it was maybe backwards. And so we switched that around. So we have updated demos. Again, for all the documentations and things like that, we're going to have demos of the category, the search results, every type of layout you can make and all that stuff. So you can go check that out. And like I said, we now have a roadmap page here in the documentation, and we're going to be updating that a lot with what's coming up. And you can feel free to give us suggestions and ideas that are relevant, that are going to be helpful to a lot of people. Okay, so I think that's it. I really hope that you guys appreciate all the work that went into this. I know this was a little longer coming out than we wanted because there was so much testing that we had to do, and there was just a lot of changes. I mean, it may not even, I mean, that was 15 features. Maybe that doesn't seem like a lot to you, but it's extremely hard making Divi modules, just so you know. So I'm just so happy with this, and I hope that you are too. Okay, so that's an overview of our Divi Events Calendar version 1.4. As you can see, we continue to listen to feedback. A lot of that stuff was customer feedback, questions or suggestions that people wanted to add. And, you know, the list, I had a huge list, and it's just getting shorter and shorter. So again, if you have ideas, let me know. We want to keep improving this, and we're excited for all the users that are using this and enjoying it and all the feedback. All right, well, we'll see you guys in the next video.